So wages was an issue, temp to perm was an issue, right? And the fact that it seems as though African American workers, and this may not be one, so I'm not putting words in your mouth. If it's not true, it's true for you, Addison, because you told me. But it seems like there might be a double standard in terms of how people are treated. Right. But really, you told a story. I don't know if you want to tell that story about the you told me about it, about Carlos.
Yeah, about
You don't have to mention
yeah,
name.
yeah, you don't have to mention.
You don't have to
names,
mention the
okay,
name,
cool.
but you can mention the
Yeah,
situation
situation.
and how, if you feel like you were done an injustice, there was something unfair about it. Right.
All right.
Addison seems to be more agitated about it than you.
Well, actually, I just, it was like a mob thing. It went from him and Carlos to before I'm looking down at the situation. I'm on TNA 52. I'm looking down, and it goes from him and Carlos to like about 5, 6 white shirts was surrounding the guy. Like,
Yeah, it sounds like you got the story. So if you,
but
it's up to you.
It's.
I too much to remember nothing about it, but
You just a cool head, though.
Yeah.
Addison don't like.
I didn't even get to me like that,
It was,
so.
Yeah.
it was.
I
If
think.
you don't want to mention it, it was his
you
situation.
can,
No. That's good. You got plenty. The issues that seem to come up for me is when I talk to you, the issues that seem to come up with the fact that the wages weren't adequate for someone in your experience. You were never talked to about. Did your check ever get messed up?
No.
No, you never had a problem with your check. You were never talked about. You never talked about moving you from temporary to permanent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And-
that's the thing I heard you say today is that like you could never get hired on, and then they offered it, and then they didn't, and they
Right.
offered it, and it just felt like a goose chase. Right.
Well, that was at the end.
Yeah.
That's at the end.
That was at the end.
Right.
So I would talk about, getting hired, who you worked through, what you did, the fact that you expected over a number of months that you would transition or at least get a raise. It never happened. And then at the very end, when you had already given up, right, then they came to you with they extended an offer to go direct. Where you would
Nervous now.
No, don't be nervous.
No.
No, don't be nervous. All right, do one thing at a time, man.
All right, I'm going to give you a little exercise here. We're going to look directly into the camera like you're talking to a friend. I want you to start out simply by introducing yourself and tell a little bit about coming to Ferrara and your experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ready?
Oh, looking at
All right. My name is Myron Gibson. I was currently working there for a candy factory. I came there in February 2018. I'm sorry. Go back.
No, that's okay. We can start over again. That'd be great. Now remember, you're talking to a friend of yours who you want to explain the situation, and you want them to understand it.
Ready? All right. My name is Myron Gibson. I was employed at Ferrari Pan Factory. Started there February 18, 2015. I was there for 7 months, and I went through a temp agency, and I'm still was there through the temp agency. And basically, I was getting run around about the permanent position, and
Tell me about the process of working as a temp. How you would get the shifts and the positions that you worked under as a temporary worker.
like, what do you mean?
Well, the positions that you filled as a temporary worker and how you set up each shift.
Now,
Yeah.
he was a forklift driver.
I see. Oh, I see.
Schedule. He wasn't strung out.
Yeah. All right. Well, tell us about transitioning to full time to work as the forklift operator.
Well, I started as a production worker at first, then I transitioned over to a forklift probably maybe 3 months later, and I feel that what I was working for, I should have been getting paid more than I should have been getting paid for. $9.50 an hour wasn't enough. And they came to me with a position for a machine operator, which is, I got the runarounds on that.
Yes, tell us about that. You were offered a position,
I was offered a position.
but it wasn't open directly.
It wasn't open directly to my knowledge. But they had me do an application, then once I turned the application in, they told me as soon as an open position come, they was gonna give me a call or let me know something.
And this was because you realized, because with your experience, you really should be getting better pay for the
Yes.
position that you're working. You had been a union forklift operator elsewhere, so you're aware of what that position usually entails.
Yes.
Well, tell us more about that, and how your expectations were not met.
Well, if I was with the union,
Well, at Farrar, your expectations of that job were not,
I still know.
yeah, I say.
Yeah.
Let's try this, okay? If you could speak directly to Tom Polk about what some changes that you think could be made in his company based on your experience that would help both the workers and the company, what would you say then?
Basically, talk to them about the,
Well, do it as though you're talking to him. Like, you know what I mean? Like say, I believe
that we should get paid more for the work that we do as a forklift driver, and better communication with each other.
and what do you mean by that? How could that be improved?
Basically, have someone directly talk to us, give us the proper commands of what we're supposed to do, and not have the Hispanics or whatever, the people who don't speak English.
In other words, it's hard to know what to do and how to do your job if it's being only communicated to you by a Spanish speaker.
Yes.
So could you say that? Because I just said it. Right?
Say it one more time.
No, I'm just saying, you said you were talking about how communication
Yeah,
is a
communication.
problem, right? So how could that communication be improved? And give me here's the thing. Give an example of how that could be, how that didn't work.
Let's start with your relationship to the shift supervisors and how they run you, and how that could be better.
Let me see if, I don't work there, but let me see if I can kind of like do a.
Okay, well here's the thing. I mean, we could talk to you about that, and you're answering in the affirmative to the things that we're saying, but we want to hear you tell it. It's got to be your narrative. Yeah, we're not, we just can't ask you questions and you say yes, no. You got to make the narrative. You got to bring us on to that job site and what's happening.
Yeah. Well, let me try this.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know what, Myron? It's too bad you're leaving, but I want you to know that we can't make everybody happy. And as you can see from the list, I just wrote up, and signed my name too. We're really working, and we made a lot of improvements. And so while I understand that you weren't happy there, the situation's really gotten a lot better. So I don't really understand what you're saying about the company is having some problems. And we feel like we made a lot of good improvements. So I would disagree with you, unless you want to say something about what you think really needs to be fixed there. Does that make sense? No.
Sort of, but
Sort of.
yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess the, the thing is this video is probably going to be seen by management ultimately, and so you really want to speak like you're talking
Directly
to them, directly to them, and not to him, and not to me, and not to the camera. You're actually giving them feedback based on your own direct day-to-day experience, a long shifts, a long experience about what they need to do. It's almost like, you know what, this is what I would do. If I was in your position, I think you need to make these changes. You see what I'm saying? Rather than just, so it takes a little bit of a...
Sure you don't want to go?
You're doing fine. We're just trying to get more,
Right.
you know, footage, right? Or whatever.
Yeah, no, we want your story. We want you to tell the story about how it goes. I mean, like, we can ask you questions about it and that sort of thing, but you got to take us there. You got to tell us what it looks like, what it tastes like, what it feels like, who you're talking to, and how you feel like when they talk to you.
Talk to her like any kind of way. Talk to her as if we are up under them. And I think they should talk to us with more respect.
But that's a good point. You know, you talk about hierarchy, like you got to talk up to people, they talk down to you. You know, tell us what it's like to work without that dignity, you know, and how you would rather be treated as an individual, as somebody that's participating and contributing to their profit margin.
I feel I should be treated with more respect than beneath the person you think I am. So, and I mean, I think it's time for for better improvement there at Forever. So, that's my perspective.
Yeah.
So,
And better wages is part of the equation to getting more dignity on the job and that sort of thing. And now, working as a forklift operator, you know, traditionally, decades ago, you'd be able to raise a family on that.
can't raise no something off on 950. I feel we should get paid more. Better pay. And insurance benefits and all.
And these again were part of the jobs decades ago. You got benefits on the job and that sort of thing. People were able to raise families. Can you raise a family now?
I can't raise no family up on 950. Not at all. It's hard. It's very hard. And I feel we should get paid more.
And can you put anything away for your future?
Not at all. Can't put nothing away at all. Not at all.
And even paying your day-to-day expenses, transportation back and forth to work.
With transportation, bills, and a set of other things, as far as trying to make it out here, it's hard. Off the hourly pay that I'm getting.
Yeah.
So,
And how did that make you feel? Because they expect you to be loyal to the company. Do you feel that they're being loyal to you by giving you a job that can support you? Does this support you? No.
but also I was offered a job for $16 an hour, and turned the application in, and it went from one thing to another. It went from turn the application in, we're gonna start you immediately until when a position get open, we'll give you a call or let you know something. And I felt that wasn't right.
Yeah, because if they're going to offer your position, they should have that position open for you.
Right then and there.
It sounds to me like they're dangling that over your head to keep you in line. Do you feel that way?
I do feel that way.
Well, great. I mean, I think
I
we're
wish I
getting
could do
enough.
one
No,
better.
that's all right. That's all right. Yeah.
So, you said I can have one of these donuts? You sure? All right, now let's see. Yeah.
Sorry, guys, we got second.
That's all right. So we've been talking a lot about, you know, the conditions at Ferrara, and particularly, I mean, like, you know, people tell you, you know, get yourself a good job, support yourself. Now, can you support yourself on what you're being paid at Ferrara?
Through the support of my family, yes, I can, but if there was no support system around me, no, I would not.
And you see, a man with a full-time job should be able to support his family instead of having to be,
Supported,
supported by his family's efforts.
correct.
You know, I mean, traditionally, these are how these jobs work. You know, Ferrara was able to support families all through Forest Park and the West Side for many, many years. And like coming to this job, what were your expectations, and how were they met or not met?
Well, first of all, is the camera rolling?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Well, first of all, my name is Addison Brown Jr. I'm a prior ex-felon that was given the opportunity to work at Ferrari's Pan through a temp agency called RIM. And I appreciated the opportunity very much so. Me being an ex-felon, I'm very grateful to be allowed to be an employee of such a large corporation such as Ferrari Pan. And as I've been employed and coming to work at Ferrari Pan over the last 4 to 4.5 months, maybe, give or take, I have come into existence and realizing that there are double standards between African Americans and Mexican employees, and it's just plain cut and dry that African Americans have to do twice as much work to a Mexican employee, to be equal to a Mexican employee, if not 3 times as much. And I find it kind of disheartening to have to go to work and to compete. It's just going to work and having to deal with the scrutiny. The Mexican employees there, they don't very much so respect African Americans. There's a few, not all. Some are very decent human beings I have came encounter with, and it's just it's just issues where I have seen. It's like really like disheartening to witness African American employees where I have witnessed an African American employee allow a Mexican employee throw stuff at him and hit him with it, and he like had to like laugh it off, and like he had to accept that, and I just found that so much disturbing. It was just, and it was just difficult for me to swallow. Just looking at him allowing that to happen to him, and the list it goes on.
Well, let's talk about that. It's an environment in the workplace that you say pits one group against another.
Yes.
That one group feels themselves favored and is secure in their positions, and another group is being treated like you can be out the door anytime.
Correct. Yes. Yes. That has happened. I have witnessed African American female on her first day. She came to work and she was doing her job accordingly, and I believe she was like 10 minutes late coming back off her break, and I don't know was she informed of the exact time when to come. More than likely she probably was, but anyway, she was like a good 10 minutes late coming back off her break, and they fired her right there on the spot. And I see this here, I see this all the time with other employees from from other nationalities, and besides African Americans, and it's not that big of a deal, and it's like you're 15 minutes late, and you sit back and you have a conversation with them and laugh and joke for another 10 minutes with them while I'm over here breaking my back doing all the work. But you getting on me about the work man slowing down. Well, make him get his behind over here and do his job or her job, and maybe the work won't be so slow. So don't hold me accountable for someone else's lack of doing, because I'm doing my job, and I know I'm doing my job to beyond. I'm handling everything that they done put in front of me, and I know I can compete with their best employee on any level in any work area. And I feel like I feel personally that I would like to have an opportunity to be a permanent employee at Ferrari Pans, because I know that the work there that I have been encountering, I have done it to my best ability, and far as I can see, ain't anybody even is compatible to what I'm capable of doing. And this is not something that I'm making up. You can watch the cameras.
Yeah.
They do have cameras out through there, and you can see how I work and how I perform.
Now, we talked also about the level of fraternization, socializing on the job with the Latino employees and that sort of
Yes,
thing,
yes.
but is discouraged between the African American.
Yes. If African American somebody walk up to me and hold a conversation of 10 to 15 seconds, we will be encountered by a lead, which may be a Mexican employee, and will tell us to disperse, stop talking, or you distracting him or her from doing their job. But if it's only 10 to 15 seconds and we working and talking at the same time, so there's no lack of work in between that short period of time. But there's been opportunities. There's been times where I have saw Mexican employees just take like 45 minutes to an hour breaks, just horse playing with one another, and it's perfectly okay. It's perfectly okay, and nothing is said, and they know they got it.
Mm-hmm.
They know they got it. This is the they know that their job is secure. I wouldn't know anything basically what they could do wrong besides I don't know, fighting. They might get fired for fighting, or it'd have to be something very drastic. But You know, other than that, I don't know.
And you feel like the African American employees are scrutinized much more and
Yes.
penalized much more for
Yes.
any sort of fraternization, any sort of
Yes.
socialization on the job.
Yes.
Whereas the Mexican employees, the Latino employees, they speak to one another in another language, sometimes talking over you, in front of you, and that sort of thing. You know they're talking about you.
But yes, I don't hold that part against them for them knowing how to speak two languages. That is just they God's gift that they have, and you know, so I don't have no problem with them speaking Mexican or Hispanic, you know, language. It's just
And you know it's not the other employees just taking off on you and that sort of thing. It's just the way that the institution, the way that it runs over there is that they're pitting one group against another.
yes. Well, you could actually see the segregation between the nationalities in the lunchroom. You know, this is where you really could see the variation, and you could see the Mexicans here, the blacks here, and so on and so on. So, you know, but I try not to, you know, go about it that way. I might sit to myself before I choose a side. You know, I don't have to sit with y'all because I'm black. I don't have to sit with y'all to be a bootlicker either. So, I mean, if it's okay for me to sit by myself, that's what I choose to do. And more than likely, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I sit to myself because I try not to get caught up in the mix of the bickering, you know, the back and forth.
Yeah,
You
so we
got
have
some
more
good
questions.
stuff. I saw you on fire a few minutes ago, man.
Yeah.
So you got some good stuff?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Dwayne Bride is the
Oh,
lead.
yeah, sure.
Okay.
And Dwayne had a lot.
All right, yeah, Okay, well, why don't you introduce yourself? We're going to be talking directly to the CEO, the president of Ferrari is going to come back, and we're going to respond to some of the things that he says that he's fixed.
Instituted.
Yeah, like he's implemented communication from temporary to regular full-time process. What you feeling on this? First of all, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your work.
How long you been there?
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Dwayne Robinson. I'm employed with Elite Staffing, and I'm located. My job site is Ferrara Pan, Kendi. I've been there nearly 2 years now, and basically doing the same thing. I see a lot of new people come in, more Spanish, and before I get pushed up, it's them. They become operators or whatever, and I'm still doing the same thing. I work hard. Do I enjoy my job? I like my job. Do I like what I'm getting paid? No. I do not like the way that I be treated by the employees that actually work for the company. The employees for the company, they act as though they're supervisors. The culture of that place is as such. Spanish, they pretty much control. They talk over the intercom in Spanish. I'm English, I'm black, but I do not understand Spanish. So if you're on the intercom talking in Spanish, if the place was on fire or whatever, I would have the slightest idea of what's going on. I'm a good worker. I've been there, and I do the best that I can when I'm there. It's just that I don't like the way that I be talked to by the employees, and they're not even supervisors. The operators talk to you any kind of way, and they could have one of their Latino friends come by, and they would hold a conversation with them, and the double standard comes in. Is if a black guy was to walk past in my work area, and I spoke to him, then it would be like I'm committing a cardinal crime. It happens every day. One lady, her boyfriend comes in the morning, and they stand over there talking forever. I was up top talking to another employee that works on the line that I work on about the job, and she hollered up there and told him to come downstairs when we were talking job-related issues. I don't think that's fair. It's so much that I can say. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time right now.
Well, that's all right. Now,
Right.
we talked to you, you say you like the work, you like you like working for our pen, it's good work and that sort of thing, but it's the attitude, the environment inside the work between the employees and the temporary workers that is toxic, that brings you down, that makes you feel unimportant and takes away dignity. Is that a good way to characterize it?
That's a great way to put it. It's like you're better than I am because you happen to be employed for forever, and I'm a temp. But that doesn't give you the right to talk to me as though I'm less than a man. I'm in my late 50s. I have grandchildren and children. All I would like is the respect that I give you. It's not there. They talk to you any kind of way. Bottom line, no ifs, ands, and buts about it. They say what they want to say. They even use profanity at times. One of the supervisors used to call me names that I would not speak now because it's not professional for one. But he was cursing me out, and I told him, listen, don't talk to me like that, even though he was joking. But I don't play like that. I'm a grown man.
And you've been working as a temp for over 2 years now.
I've been working for a temp for over a year.
Over a year.
Over a year. It's coming up on 2 years, and I'm still there. I'm in the process of trying to have to find me something else because I cannot live off $8.25 an hour. I wish that I could get respect out of the employers who's working with forever, but I don't think that'll happen. You come and work on different lines, and then they talk to you like you're ignorant. Really, they don't understand that they're talking broken English, and it's hard for me to comprehend what they're saying when they're not talking clear English. And then you look at me like I don't know what I'm saying. No, you're not talking English. So now I got to read in between the lines. I think you said that a lot of things had changed to temp for hire or whatever. Haven't seen it. I've seen people come in who's been there less than me, and they're immediately put into positions. Yes, they have trained African Americans to be operators, but I believe that a person who's been there for a while should be given an opportunity also. It's so much.
So nobody's talked to you in over a year about being promoted up from temporary to permanent.
No, I actually brought it to them, and they said that okay, in January they're gonna start hiring again. They're gonna open up another line. But I've heard that kind of stuff before. I've asked numerous times actually, but no, it wasn't brought to me. It was me asking, and I always get the runaround. It's like blowing smoke up, you know what? But I would love to see the culture of that place change.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have to leave now.
Okay. Well, thank you so very much for talking with us.
No problem.
We really appreciate this.